What's up, everybody? This is Jason. Just Jason. I almost did my old lead in. So I have been on a bit of a Blu-ray hunt, I guess, and so I just got a lot in. I bought for $12 off of eBay. I think it was like $5 shipping, so $17, $18 with tax and all that stuff. On I believe about 12 Blu-rays, so basically $1 a piece for a Blu-ray. I sent him a best offer. He had it like for 20. I sent him like one for 10 because you'll see. I don't think there's anything in here that's gonna blow your panties off. And we came back and it was like $12.50 or something. So I was like, all right, I'll do $12.50. So that being said, I don't think most of these movies I've seen before, aside from maybe one. And then the last two I'm gonna show are ones that I got separately on eBay as well. They were both sealed. I already opened one and watched it because I've been wanting to see it on Blu-ray. The other one's still sealed. So with that being said, first one is right there, the Changeling. I'm sorry, I'm still getting used to that broken camera on my phone. So this is a Clint Eastwood film starring Angelina Jolie. I believe also John Malkovich. I've not seen this. I think it's based on a true story. In the 1920s, I want to say, a woman loses her baby. Her baby's kidnapped. Her 5-year-old is kidnapped. 5-month-old, maybe. That's what it was. And then the baby vanishes, and then X amount of time passes, and they say they found the baby, or the child, but it's not actually her child. So that's just pretty much me reading the synopsis of it. So, anyways, interested to see it. I have not heard anything about this movie overtly, maybe when it first came out. But I don't, as you all know, this is not a Clint Eastwood movie that gets talked about a lot. So either it wasn't a very good one, or just people weren't very impressed. But anything with Clint Eastwood as the director, I want to give it a shot. Next up is Inside Man. Another movie I've yet to see, but I mean, buying Blu-rays for $1 all day. Denzel Washington, Clive Owen, Jodie Foster, Christopher Plummer's in here, William Dafoe, Terrence Blanchard. So yeah, there's quite a few people in this one. So I'm definitely going to give this one a watch. I mean, this obviously has a lot of people that are pretty significant, some big ballers. So, Inside Man right there. Give that one a little chickadee check. Next one up is The King's Speech. Now I know this one had a pretty big accolades. I think it might have won Best Picture possibly, or some sort of says a masterpiece, the Best Picture of the year. There you go. So it has Colin Firth, Jeffrey Rush, and Helena Bonham Carter. So again, I'm a big fan of hers. I just love her movies. I love the stuff she's in. I just really like her. So, don't know much about it. I believe the king has a speech impediment or stutters or something, and the Jeffrey Rush character, I believe, helps him with that. Again, I don't know much about it. This is gonna be a theme of me saying I don't know much about it, but I want to watch it, and I didn't want to spend a lot of money for $1. I would open all these up. All these came with all their inserts, all their additional discs, except one of the last ones I'll show before I get to the last two, and I knew that going into it. The big thing is, as I get to the next few here, a lot of them came with slipcovers, and as you all know, as slipcover fans, it's always nice to get movies with their slipcovers. Next up is John Q. Denzel Washington movie here. Man, it also has Robert Duvall, James Woods, Anne Hesh, Kimberly Elise, and Ray Liotta. I mean, that's not a cornucopia, if you will, of great actors and actresses. I don't know what you would say there. So, I saw this in the theater. I will never forget. I saw this with my son's mom. It was a little rundown theater in Clarksville, Indiana, a dollar theater. It's called the Green Tree 4 Cinema. And we go there, and it was a crowded movie, a lot of people there. And if you ever seen, I think, Scary Movie 2, where there's people, screaming, and they're somebody stands up and is like, shut up, stop talking. And then they're shout them down, and there's fights that break out, and people arguing and fighting and throwing stuff. that was this movie. I never experienced that before. I don't know what was going on that night, but for $1, it was actually quite hilarious. The commentary that people were going on there, and then people were screaming at the screen, "Don't do it, John Q! Don't do it, Denzel! Denzel! Don't do it! Or you can't trust them." There was all this kind of stuff going on. I'll never forget it. My ex was like, is this normal, Jason? And I'm like, no, not really normal. I've been going to the theater since the 80s, and I've never experienced this much interaction with the screen aside from Rocky Horror Picture Show. So, yeah, so needless to say, that's the only time I've seen the movie. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, his son needs to have a heart transplant or heart surgery, and he can't afford it, or there's something to do with, like, the insurance won't pay for it. And, he pretty much takes the doctors hostage, and says they're going to perform the surgery for his son because he's at his wit's end. I mean, it was a really heart pounding, like, this really just makes you really feel for people, anyone that has a situation that you will do anything for your child, including, I guess, taking doctors to a hospital seize the hospital, the doctor, to take them hostage to save your son. So that was really good. Being on the Denzel Washington kick, that's 2 Denzel movies I think so far I've shown. This will be the 3rd one, Flight, right here. It has John Goodman also in it, I believe, and let's see who else. John Goodman, Melissa Leo's in here, but Robert Zemeckis is, Back to the Future, of fame. But I really want to see this. This is based on a true story also. So whoever I bought this from got like a lot of real world true story, high caliber actors, actresses in this lot. So he was definitely a fan, or he or she, I don't know who it was, is a fan of Denzel, is a fan of true life story movies, movies based in reality. There's no superhero movies in this one. So there you go. I wanted to see it again. I think this is based on a true story. I could be wrong. I want to say it is. I could be making that up, actually. Not for sure. But yeah, so somebody can correct me in the comments if I was wrong there. So there is Flight. Next up is another slipcover for Stand By Me. Blu-ray here. You got Johnny Cusack. You got Kiefer Sutherland. You got Corey Feldman, Jerry O'Connell. River Phoenix, Will Wheaton, directed by Rob Reiner, off of a Stephen King book or novella. I'm not for sure. I mean, there's not really much I can say that hasn't been said about Stand By Me. Stand By Me. And this is the 25th anniversary edition. But I really want to get this because of the slipcover. I rarely see the slipcover, and this is what drawn me to getting this lot. Was I would spend $5 or $6 on this probably by itself, but with the slipcover. But when I got all these additional ones, all day long. But I remember watching this movie. I mean, again, it's a coming of age story for teenage boys. Stuff that you see now and hear. Things they say, the things they do, the type of what's the word I'm looking for? The type of coming of age story you see here would probably not be acceptable in today's hypersensitive culture. Next up, another Denzel Washington movie with John Hairspray Travolta, and you got here in Footloose. Now, is it not Footloose? I'm sorry, Grease. What was I thinking? So here we go. We got The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. I believe this is a remake from a movie that came out in the 70s. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. You got Luis Guzman in here. John Turturro is also in this. James Gandolfini. This must be one of his later films. It's a Tony Scott joint. So Tony Scott directed this. Another movie I have not seen. I have not seen this. I know about it. And I think, isn't Denzel's on another train movie called Unstoppable with Chris Pine, right? So, anyways, here you have Denzel and John Travolta. Obviously, John Travolta looks like the bad guy because he has the sunglasses that are dark and scary. So, there you go. Now that I said, I might have seen this one time or parts of it. But anyways, so we will definitely give that a shot. Next up is Tom Cruise in The Firm. This is timely because his new Top Gun movie just came out, Maverick. But you also have in this movie Hal Holbrook, Holly Hunter, Ed Harris, Gene Triplehorn, and it looks like that is Sidney Pollack directed it. And isn't that who? That is Gene Hackman. Yeah, Gene Hackman's in here. They don't even list him. That's weird. They don't list him as a actor in here on the credits there, but there he is, plain as day. And I know I saw the film back whenever it came out in the late 90s, early 2000s, but I've not seen it forever. So I don't remember anything about it. This looks like a bare bones edition. It doesn't look like there's any special features. So, but again, I want to see this movie. It's another movie I have not seen in forever. Next up, I've never seen, I don't think, any of these movies. I think it's a trilogy. And I know a lot of people talk really highly about this film series, at least I think some of the films. This is The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is a trilogy of films. And again, I don't know enough about it. I don't know if this is the American remake or this was based off of a Norwegian or Swedish movie or Finnish movie or something. Noomi Rapace, I think is her name. She stars in it. But I don't know hardly anything about it. It looks like it's kind of like a drama, thriller, maybe action. It has lots of gunplay on the back here. Doesn't look like there's not much in the way of special features. So there you go. Somebody could tell me about these, if this is any good or not, if it's worth watching. Some of these are just going to be flips. Like this next one's definitely going to be a flip. Some of these I don't know if I have that much interest in keeping, but when I can get them for $1 a piece, essentially, I'll just take whatever you throw in there and then I'll sort through it. And this is definitely going to be one that I am not going to be holding on to. This is Dallas Buyers Club. I mean, great actors: Matthew McConaughey, Jennifer Gardner, Jared Leto. Jared Leto. I don't know much about it, but I know enough to know that I don't really want to watch it. So just showing it to you just because it is a part of the list. Next up is Lee Daniels The Butler with Forrest Whitaker, Oprah Winfrey, Mariah Carey's in here, John Cusack, Jane Fonda, Cuba Gooding Jr., Terrence Howard, Lenny Kravitz, James Marsden, Alan Rickman, Liv Schreiber, Robin Williams. Wow, good Lord. That's a lot of great actors in this movie. So yeah, I don't know anything about this movie. Again, this was another one, but it looks like maybe he is the butler of the president. The guy looks like JFK. I'm assuming that's James Marsden on the back. So I'm assuming he's playing JFK. So I guess Forrest Whitaker was the butler for JFK. This is a movie about his story, possibly. I don't know anything about it, so I'm interested to check it out. I mean, the pedigree of actors in this is obviously super high. So yeah, I'm gonna give this a spin. Maybe it's a one I'll keep in the collection. I won't get rid of it. Some of those I've shown so far, and a few more of these at the end. Maybe it'll probably be like a one view and be done and move on. That's probably going to be the case for this one right here. This is Tom Hanks and Sully. Again, this is based on a true story, I believe. I think this is the one where the guy Sully, he landed the airplane in the Hudson or somewhere. Yeah, he landed the airplane on the water when it started malfunctioning. I remember I had just gotten married, a few years before this happened, and my son had just been born, 2009, I believe, when this happened. Was it 2009 this happened? Yeah. My son was just born a few months before, in 2008, and I remember this was like a huge story. It was like, it was all over the news. I remember very vividly about this. So anyways, you have Tom Hanks in here. Is there anybody else they show on here? I don't know. Just seems like, I think Laura Linney's in here. Looks like Laura Linney. Yes. Directed by Clint Eastwood. Another Clint Eastwood. So this person's definitely a fan of Clint Eastwood, Tom Hanks, Denzel. So there you go. Don't know much about it. We'll definitely give it a view. Keep it on the Tom Hanks tip. We got Captain Phillips again, I believe. Okay, this is not based on a true story. I thought it was. Oh no, it is based on a true story. See, I should have said that about everything. Based on a true story, Captain Phillips. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he's on a ship, or he's a ship captain, Captain Phillips, and he is like boarded, and like him and his crew are boarded by pirates somewhere, I believe in Somalia, African pirates. So yeah, I was right, Somali. See, I was close. Somali pirates, and of course, I'm sure it's like a fight or flight scenario. And I've heard good things about it. Directed by Paul Greengrass. If I'm not mistaken, isn't that the same director who did the Bourne Identity movies? So Paul Greengrass. It says it's an eruption of emotional fireworks. So again, another movie I've not seen, heard good things about. So I will say, it says it's been mastered in 4K. Ooh. All right, the next two. Well, let me show this one right here. The only one I got, he told me ahead of time that the one of the disc, it was the what do you call it, the disc that you can put in your computer and play, like what's the digital HD disc or whatever, the digital disc they call that, the whatever, was missing, and he put a burnt DVD in there in its place. Was The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Again, this is not a movie I've seen, but it stars Daniel Craig, Rooney Mara, Christopher Plummer's in here, Stella Skarsgård, Robin Wright. So there's quite a few people. Trent Reznor did the music. David Fincher directed. David Fincher, come on, guys. Fight Club, Seven. Let's go. What else? I think did he do Nightcrawler also? And then you have, you got Nine Inch Nails. Trent Reznor did the music for this. Right? Hit like a hole. So anyway, so we have Trent Reznor doing the music, so I'm excited about that. Again, haven't heard anything about it, but it's a 3-disc set, Blu-ray, I believe a DVD, and then that like HD, like put in your computer, like a copy, whatever, for it. So it actually still has like kind of like the little J card or whatever additional paper there with all the information, but there's tons of special features. So, looking forward to watching that. And then the last two were aside from Stand By Me and maybe, I don't know, one of the other ones that kind of caught my eye, these last two are the ones I really wanted on there. This is Lincoln. I really want to get Lincoln. I liked what I saw when I watched it originally a couple years ago. You have Tommy Lee Jones in here. Steven Spielberg directed. Daniel Day-Lewis obviously playing Lincoln. I liked it. I really liked it a lot. I know that I felt like a lot of people kind of crapped on the movie. I don't know why. Maybe it was just was not what they were expecting. There was a lot of more historical, sitting around the tables trying to work through how to get everybody on board with, slavery and the Civil War and all that. So there's a lot more talking than there was action. But there was some action in this. Whoops, now I'm dropping stuff. But anyway, so I liked it. But a lot of people kind of, I think, poo-pooed on it. Again, just like with Sully, the Butler, and Captain Phillips, and the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, it has the slippy slip. So I wanted to pick that up. All right. The last one I got before I go to the last two that I really liked was L.A. Confidential. I had never seen this movie. I know it's sacrilegious. I think there's Curtis Hanson joint here. And then, again, there's so many great actors. Kevin Spacey, Russell Crowe, Guy Pearce, Kim Basinger, Danny DeVito. There's such a... James Cromwell's in here. David Strahan's in here. So this is a bunch of great actors in this movie. I don't know much about it, but I know it's like a film noir. So I definitely want to go check it out. Or neo-noir. It's a new type of noir film from, I believe this came out 98 or 1999. It was towards the end of the 90s. I know that much. I think it says 97 on here. So maybe there you go. I was in the ballpark. So anyways, I want to see this. It's one of those ones I think I caught some of it at some point. But I have not yet really sat down and really watched it. But I know it's on a lot of people's list as one of the best movies ever made. Or really a good neo-noir film. So I really want to check that out. So there's that. That was all the ones I bought from the same buy on eBay. So pretty excited about that. Next up was, and I already saw this. I had to see it in Blu-ray. I had the DVD, but the DVD wasn't cutting it anymore with my new TV and all that setup. I got with the slip cover The Hateful Eight. Man, I love this slipcover again. It has like the, panoramic view there. I really like this a lot. I know, again, I feel like this is one of the weaker ones that people say are one of the weaker ones for Tarantino. Because, again, not a lot happens in this movie. It's a lot of talking until the last 30, 35 minutes of the movie. So just a lot of, building suspense, building intrigue, trying to, like a whodunit, or who's going to do it, I guess I should say. I know they said there's a lot of stuff in here that they felt like people thought was inappropriate, or just maybe over the top. And they may be right. I don't know if I disagree with that necessarily, but I thought the positive outweighed the negative for this film, and I just thought the music, the cinematography, the direction, again with Tarantino, the actors in this movie were just awesome. And in my opinion, there was not a weak link in the movie aside from maybe Bob the Mexican, if that's right. He played his part the right way, but I just kind of felt like, I was like, meh, meh. So, anyways, there you go. But I loved, Quentin Tarantino, honestly, there's not a movie that he's done or been a part of that I just think is absolute rubbish. And I really enjoy this one so much. And Ennio Morricone, the music on here, I think it was his last film he ever did the music for, or maybe the only time he ever won an Oscar. I'm not mistaken, he won an Oscar for the soundtrack or for the score. So 3 award-winning nominations for Best Supporting Actress, Best Original Score, and Best Cinematography. It says nominations. I don't know if he won, but I want to say Morricone did win, but maybe I'm wrong. So anyways, not really much else I can say about that, but it comes with a slipcover, and again, I wanted to get that. And this is one I'm going to start doing a conscious effort to start buying certain labels, Blu-rays, just to try to beef up my collection. I started doing that with the retro VHS Mill Creek ones, with all the different kinds that I picked up recently, and I started doing that with Vestron Video. The first one I picked up was Dementia 13, or Dementia 13. They came out in, I want to say the 1960s, I want to say. Where does it say on here when it came out? 1963, directed by Francis Ford Coppola. And again, I don't know much about it, but this is a director's cut that does have an introduction with Francis Ford Coppola, also an audio commentary with him, and this was a prologue as well, So I really want to see it. I want to check it out. The slipcover has not been opened, as you can still see here. It's sealed. So, I want to go check it out. This is number 22 on the spine. If I can show you, there you go. So guys, that is it. I hope you all enjoyed this. I know it's a little bit longer, but I want to kind of get it all in, as one would say. And let me know what you all thought below. I got this for $6 or $7, including shipping. I got this for, I think, $5 or $6, including shipping. So I got all this right here. Let's say I spent $30 total on the whole lot of Blu-rays you see here. Let me know what you think, how I did. Any of those movies you give thumbs up to, thumbs down. What were some of the highlights? What were some of the lowlights on the films that I have shown? I'm interested to see what you all think about all this. So until next time, guys, thanks for watching. Peace.